On both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you right now to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, HaveFunOTI. Touch 'em up.
Jeff?
Yes?
I'm exhausted. I mean, I'm incredibly exhausted.
Really?
I have no energy. I have no will. But guess what, Jeff? You know what's the perfect solution to this problem? A nice, steaming cup of Have Fun on the Indys. It'll get your body nice and caffeinated, feeling good.
Who needs energy drinks?
I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
And it's Have Fun in the Indys, once again in your lives. So, Jeff, what's been going on this week in the world of pro wrestling?
Well, as of today, All In tickets went on sale today.
Okay.
And
real quick, All In?
All In.
That's a weird name for a pro wrestling show.
But besides that,
I typed in All In, and like hella NASCAR and baseball shit kept popping up.
I typed in All In, and apparently all I got was WrestleMania
Hey, but you know what that proves? It's just the fact that nobody's Googling All In doesn't mean anything, because apparently All In has sold over 10,000 tickets.
In an hour.
Here, let me read you what I was reading earlier on pwinsider.com. Mike Johnson came out with this piece of news, and it said, here we go. After tickets went on sale today for the September 1st All In show in Chicago, it appears that all tickets have sold out. No tickets, not even single seats, are currently available for purchase at the Sears Center. There is no word yet whether certain sections were held off from today's on sale. If they were not, that means the Bullet Club branded event sold out a 10,000 seat venue in under an hour.
Wow.
Dear God.
Wow.
Is this real life? 10,000 seats for under an hour? Usually that's WWE doing these things.
Yeah. Sad fact is New Japan still hasn't sold out their show at the Cow Palace, the G1 special.
Okay, hold on. Before we get to that.
It's just a fact.
Okay, but before we get to that, how weird is that? 10,000 fucking people already bought a show to go to an indie show. It's pretty much an indie show. And the fact of the matter is, what makes it even crazier is the fact that there's been indies out for fucking decades that can't draw that. And have been doing shows for decades and don't draw those numbers. And that's the one thing you got to give, the people behind this event, you got to give them credit. Sometimes I rag on the Young Bucks and Omega, and I rag on a lot of the New Japan guys. But the fact of the matter is, these guys have their finger to the pulse of professional wrestling. They know what the fans want.
Yeah.
That's something to be super proud of. If an indie show that's not being put on by New Japan, that's not being put on by Ring of Honor, it's not being put on by any indie, it's literally a show put on just by a bunch of people that love professional wrestling, is going to draw 10,000 people.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And they named someone that was going to be there. And it's already, to me, I like this guy, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, big name.
So Rey Mysterio is going to make an appearance. And who do they have for the main event?
Right now, for the main event, something pretty impressive that I'm happy to report on. The NWA title will be on the line at this event. Reigning champion Nick Aldis versus Cody.
So, I have a question. That NWA title, who's the guy running NWA now?
Billy Corgan.
Okay. I will give that guy props, too, because he went into TNA, and those ventures obviously failed, and a lot of people started giving that guy shit about, like, oh, he's a tool, and, he doesn't know what he's doing in the wrestling business. I kind of like the way he's trying to make the NWA title mean something again. Now, is it going to mean something again at the status that it used to? I don't ever see that happening. I see it gaining respect. I see it meaning a little something more, but is it going to be as popular as it was at a national level? I don't know, Jeff. I don't know if it could even be more prestigious than the Ring of Honor title.
I'm not going to sit here and say that it will be. I'm glad that it's being taken seriously and been trying to be put in a brighter light than it has been in a few years. But hey, it's supposed to be in the main event of All In. So for now, the NWA title is on the line. It is the same title that Cody Rhodes' father made famous, or made his world title reign famous on. So I'm going to go out right now and say Cody's going to win.
Dude, and if an NWA title match is not enough, with two great fucking wrestlers, Nick Aldis, I've only watched a little bit of his stuff. I'm not really too familiar.
He's good.
But Cody and Nick Aldis, that's going to be a good-ass fucking match.
Yeah.
It's going to be quality NWA title match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But here's the fucking crazy part. After all these years, CM Punk has been booked to sign T-shirts.
Yeah, to sign T-shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees.
That's
really
still
not
pretty damn
surprised.
cool because CM Punk has strayed away from the pro wrestling scene, whether it be mainstream or indie, for a while.
Yeah.
So he's gonna, and it's gonna be real close to that show, isn't it? Like distance wise.
Yeah. Both in Chicago. I believe All In is at the Sears Center. I'm not
yeah, it's
sure.
at the Sears Center.
Yeah,
in Chicago, Illinois.
It's just outside of Chicago, so it'll be the day before, August 31st.
Yeah.
CM Punk will be having a meet and greet at Pro Wrestling Tees. His first wrestling-based appearance or anything to do with wrestling since walking out of the WWE. Everyone makes a point of saying walking out of. So I heard otherwise. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, he's signing T-shirts in Chicago at a very close date to that event, the day before. So I've already been reading on some of the forums, and I've already heard people say that they think he might make an appearance at the All In wrestling show. You know what my opinion on that shit is? Is if you look at the logistics of everything, it's not gonna fucking happen, dude. If he makes an appearance, the most he'll do is cut a promo. Maybe punch somebody. 100%, let's be smart about this, 100% he's not going to have a wrestling match. We all know, right, that he's having a UFC fight here in a couple of months, right, in a few months. He's going to be in the fucking octagon. Trust me when I tell you, his priorities are in the octagon right now.
Well,
And for him to have a match, that involves huge risk of injury. And since he's such a draw, even though he sucks at MMA, since he's such a draw, there's no way the UFC's going to let that happen because they're paying him fat. He's one of the guys, the last time he fought in the UFC, he was one of the guys that got paid the most on the fucking roster. And he's not even an MMA fighter.
yeah. I did forget this when we were pre-gaming this. All In is September 1st. His fight's, June?
June or July.
It'll be after, I mean...
Is this fight in June? Or is it August?
I thought it was.
I forgot exactly what it is. It might
I know
be UFC.
All In is after his fight. All In is after his fight.
Really?
I didn't mean to monkey wrench that. I
hey,
didn't
hold
even
on,
think
hold
of
on,
that earlier.
So,
I'm sorry.
So All In is after his fight?
Yeah.
After his
1st,
fight, right?
September 1st, yeah.
Okay, so, wait a minute. Why didn't you bring this up before when we were talking in the back?
Totally.
Wait. Why didn't you bring this up before when we were talking in the back? Because now I'm on the podcast and we come off uninformed.
I know, yeah, totally blanked on that.
Jeff, you keep talking over me.
I apologize.
I'm gonna let you talk. Just let me get my words out.
I screwed that one up. So
All right. Well, anyways,
I'm gonna take the credit.
so that's after. So that show is after his fight. If that happens to be true, holy shit! If he does come back to pro wrestling in any sort of way, that's not the WWE. And in my opinion, I'm sorry to say this, fucking lynch me, but it's a huge mistake to go back to a pro wrestling event and have it be an indie show.
Somebody said earlier, I believe it was Cultaholic actually, that the arena that it's in has sentimental value to him. He had a lot of his early indie shows there, so that is it's a possibility, they say. But I take responsibility for totally blanking and not pointing out the dates.
Yeah, because I could have investigated this a lot better.
The Punk's I thought I heard Punk's fight was next month in June.
How about this? Hey,
We
you know something crazy?
We could look it up.
It's crazy, but there's something called the internet. We can just Google it. Just put CM Punk UFC.
Exactly.
And hopefully, you're right, because we don't want to look like jackasses.
It's not like we didn't do that last week.
UFC right there. Look, UFC officially announces CM Punk's return against Mike Jackson.
Yes.
Let's see what the date is. The date is June 9th.
June 9th. So that will be in Chicago as well.
Uh-huh.
Boy, they sure don't make him travel far for his pay-per-view events, do they? Yeah, June 9th. All In is September 1st.
Holy shit! What if he does fucking make an appearance?
Well, then who do you think he's gonna face?
I have no idea.
Just
There's no way.
throw a
There's
guess
no
out.
way. There's no. I don't know. And my thing is, I still don't believe he comes back full time to professional wrestling, dude. His heart, from what I've seen, he's hella set in mixed martial arts right now, because his first fight was an embarrassment. His first fight was weird, and I feel like he's set on it. I don't know, but if he does come back, I'm not gonna hate on the guy. And even though I wish I'd see him in WWE where he has unfinished business, because as good as he was, which he was at wrestling and at promos, as good as he was, you know it's got to break his heart a little, because you can tell in his eyes that he was a professional wrestling fan his whole life. It's got to hurt him a little bit that he never got to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, that is true. He definitely had one of the most dominant title reigns of the last 10 years in the WWE. A record that I believe Lesnar might have topped right now.
Wow.
Lesnar's been champion.
I'm not mad at that. I love Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Different podcast for me.
It is a different podcast, but still, he's a pro wrestler now, and he is an MMA fighter, but it also feels like he's mainly a professional wrestler.
More of his career has been spent in the professional wrestling than it has been in mixed martial arts or anywhere else, including football. So,
that's hella weird.
At heart, Lesnar is a wrestler.
Dude, at heart, Lesnar's a fucking freak. He's so good that when his contract negotiations come up, he's able to leverage with the UFC and the WWE. Like, he uses both. He'll tell WWE, like, I'll just go to the UFC, and he'll tell the UFC, I'll just go to the WWE. He's that good. And the reason why he's that good is because he goes to MMA, and he actually wins. And then he goes to pro wrestling, and he wins belts there, too.
He definitely is that good. Him having the Universal title for the last year, I've liked. It's given that belt some credibility.
Yeah, I wish they'd give people more time with belts, even if we don't like them. Even if we don't like them, make the person have the belt for a while.
I agree. I would love to see Randy Orton champion for a year just because.
Wow, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical difficulties. It cut you off mid-sentence.
Yeah, it did. We got hacked.
We got hacked.
Bots.
I don't know.
Bots.
It looks like the wrestling gods a little pissed at us for making so many mistakes last week with the facts.
Yeah, it was only a little.
However, ladies and gentlemen, what we were talking about was how we're happy that these days it seems like they're trying a little bit in the WWE to give the belts a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar has had it for a while, and even AJ Styles has had a good amount of defenses with it.
Yes.
And they're all great matches, and they feel the WWE belts, the main event belts, feel important again.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's interesting, and I like that. Make the belts important again. Because God knows it's hard to make things important in the WWE, because every fucking match and every fucking person on the roster has to have an angle going on. Dear Lord. Everybody has to have an angle going on. Every fucking person. There's not one goddamn guy that doesn't have an angle going on. Every match has to have an angle. Hey, WWE, as much as I love you, stop insulting my intelligence. I don't need some sort of Kim Kardashian angle for every fucking match. I can just watch a match without a big old giant story behind it. Have stories for the belts. Have angles for the belts. Let every other match just be.
There doesn't always have to be a reason for a match.
No,
wrestlers wrestle.
Exactly. Hey, how about this? The reason is you're at a wrestling show and they're wrestlers?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Anywho, we were talking about the qualifying matches for Money in the Bank on Raw. We talked about Ember. We talked about Ember Moon and how she won. And next, who do we got, Jeff?
Next we have Finn Balor defeats Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn in probably the match of the night on Raw, man.
God, dude. I mean,
that was great.
It's self-explanatory. You hear those names, fucking Finn Balor, sick as fuck. Sami Zayn, sick as fuck. Roman Reigns, people can hate him all the fuck they want, man. He's a good wrestler. People might not like him. His personality might not jive with everybody's shit. But in my opinion, he's a good wrestler, and he tries really hard, and he does have good matches. It's just not translating with the audience.
Yeah, he's one of the top 3 or 4 people that I don't like that are the best WWE wrestlers right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I cannot deny. I may not be fans, but they are the best at what they're doing right now. And Roman showed it in that match.
I agree.
Finn qualified, though.
Yeah, anyways, so we had those matches, but let me take a little break before we get to the final Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just wrestlers that I like talking about. Here's a little break from all the Money in the Bank stuff. Raw Tag Team Champions Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt defeat Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Delete.
Dude, I'm digging the deleter of worlds.
The deleter of worlds.
Dude,
yeah.
I love it. The only thing that feels a little weird is Bray Wyatt in a position where he's the one listening to the orders instead of giving the orders.
Subservient.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Submissive,
because I always pictured that guy as more of the guy who's the leader of the cult.
Yeah.
Not the cult member. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm super happy Matt and Wyatt are working together, though. It's better than Wyatt just being off TV or Wyatt doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that gimmick. As wacky as it is.
Yeah.
As wacky as it is, once TNA did that whole show, that was like that whole Woken show or whatever, it drew me in.
Total nonstop deletion.
Yep. The Hardy Boys are killing it. Anywho, congratulations to them. I'm going to keep following those guys, and hopefully they garner a lot of success.
I mean, they're tag champs, so.
So the last thing on Raw, what was the final Money in the Bank qualifier?
That we're going to cover is Braun defeats Kevin Owens to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match.
See, and this is what I'm saying. While the match wasn't fucking, WrestleMania match, because they can't always work that way, as we've discussed, the match was good, man, and it put Braun Strowman in a positive light. Because Kevin Owens is a good wrestler, and he's a big man. Not huge, but he's a big man, and it showed, the match was good. Braun Strowman kept up with Kevin Owens the whole time. He showed his athleticism for being such a fucking giant, It was nice.
Good competition.
It was a
Braun.
good Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Yeah, good
Braun
competition
Strowman wins.
Yep. Qualifies for Money in the Bank.
So it goes Ember Moon,
For the
Finn
women.
Balor,
And Braun.
For That's what happened on Raw.
This
So
week's qualifiers.
we move on to SmackDown, which is
SmackDown Live.
SmackDown's like I'm not gonna say the indie show of the WWE, but they have a lot of those guys, huh? Shinsuke, AJ Styles,
It's the show I want to watch.
Daniel Bryan. They have all of our indie sweethearts.
Yeah, they do.
They also had a bunch of Money in the Bank qualifying matches, right?
Yes, they did.
What was the women's one?
The women's one was Charlotte.
So Charlotte
defeating Peyton Royce of the Iconic Duo to qualify for the Money in the Bank.
I don't know, that Iconic Duo thing, man, it's a little weird. I don't know, sometimes some of the stuff they make these women do, it's retarded. And I'm sorry. It's just, I don't dig that Iconic Duo thing. Maybe I need to watch it more. Maybe I'll warm up to it after a while.
If you don't get the Iconic Duo, they're not for you, right? Right? Didn't we read that earlier off Instagram?
Right. That's
yeah,
right.
I don't get it. I could do a 25-minute rant on the SmackDown Women's Division right now, but we don't have time for that.
But you can't. You know why? Because you don't get it the way they get it.
Because I don't get the Iconic Duo.
You're a failure in the WWE.
I'm pretty sure Carmella kicked out Charlotte's teeth on Thursday or Friday in Germany.
Whoa, are you being fucking serious right now?
I don't want to Google the answer to that.
You should really Google that, dude. Are you being serious? So what was it that you heard, and then we'll see if it was right or not.
Charlotte got her teeth kicked out by Carmella in Germany in the last few days.
Carmella kicked her?
Yep, in the mouth, and there's teeth missing, and there's surgery, and...
Oh, my
Yeah, it did happen, right? Yeah,
And it says right here, Charlotte Flair loses teeth at WWE Germany house show. We're reading on something called CageSideSeats.com, and a guy named Tommy Misano wrote an article talking about, this is pretty fucking nuts. Let's see.
Carmella's a good wrestler.
Wow. I mean, accidents happen. This isn't ballet, as the old saying goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, that is fucking nuts. I don't know how it happened. I don't know the move that caused it.
I don't think there's a video of it.
It was
show.
a Germany house show. They probably should have a video of her missing teeth.
We're...
Oh my god, so the video I'm watching now has fucking Charlotte Flair being a soldier and covering her mouth as she's still taking pictures with fucking
Selfies
fans.
with fans.
See?
That's what it's all about.
And that's why Charlotte Flair should fucking continuously be showcased in the women's division. That girl is
She
the
is,
epitome of a WWE women's wrestler. And I'm not talking about bra and panties matches. I'm talking about you want a woman that looks strong, independent, that can wrestle? Push her. Keep pushing her. Don't stop. David Flair couldn't cut it. But fucking the woman Flair can.
Name drop.
Man, that is nutty though. Hey, what a fucked up business, huh? And it's kind of fucked up because then I see people here in the comment section. They're talking about how like, oh, it's gonna ruin her pretty face, and isn't it kind of sexist how?
Oh, that's kind of far.
It is kind of fucked up, and the only reason why I say that it's gonna ruin her. They're like, it's gonna ruin her pretty face. She's not gonna look as good. Is if a guy had his teeth knocked out, would people be saying like, oh, he doesn't look as good? I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that topic.
It would be on a shirt like when Cesaro knocked his own teeth out on that turnbuckle at the pay-per-view last year, and it would say the Thwith Thybog.
Man, what crazy accidents happen in this fucking industry, huh?
Yeah. It's not gonna mess
She
up
left
Charlotte's face,
she left her
folks.
fucking teeth in Germany, and Mick Foley left his goddamn ear there.
That's exactly what I thought when I heard that story, man.
How fucking nuts.
The same thing.
Fucking nuts, huh?
Uh-huh.
So Charlotte Flair wins her match, right?
Qualifies
And shit.
for the women's Money in the Bank.
And then we have another Money in the Bank qualifier on SmackDown. And it's what, Jeff? And it was shocking to us.
I don't want to read it. I don't want to say it.
Well, I'm going to read it.
It hurts.
I'm going to read it.
Please do.
Daniel
Rip the Band-Aid.
Bryan wrestled Rusev. And mind you, Rusev has been pushed a lot by the company. Right now, he's probably not getting pushed as hard. I don't know the reason, but he's still being showcased, you know? But the weird part is Daniel Bryan right now is getting pushed a lot.
On fire.
He's getting pushed because he's making his return, and they're showcasing him again. They're slowly starting to push him and build him and build him and build him so he can finally wrestle maybe some big matches. So they wrestle in this Money in the Bank qualifying match, and I'm sorry, I got shocked. Rusev goes over.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
You know I love Daniel Bryan.
So do I.
One of and probably my favorite wrestler of all time. He's been on fire. He's been winning everything. He was in the Greatest Royal Rumble for an hour and 15 minutes, 16 minutes. And he loses to Rusev, who's been on a downward spiral of his career where he supposedly got fired last month before the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Yeah,
Come on.
But if you look at the big picture, Jeff, you know what I noticed that was kind of weird? So Rusev beats him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's celebrating, and guess who the camera pans into? Daniel Bryan. And they show, like, they do this shot where you see the Money in the Bank briefcase up there, and then you also see Daniel Bryan's face, and it's like all in distraught because he just lost. I feel like this might lead to something bigger.
Like he could still make it into the Money in the Bank somehow?
Dude, I hope so, because Daniel Bryan is has one of the biggest hearts in all of fucking professional wrestling, dude.
The biggest.
We've watched him for the better part of a decade. We've seen Daniel Bryan grow from Shawn Michaels' student all the way to fucking, a champion.
From white tights with the American flag on it.
You could feel his passion when he's fucking wrestling. And that's what WWE needs. They need people with passion. If they hired more guys that were fans of this fucking industry instead of always being ex-athletes, instead of always being an ex-football player, an ex-this, an ex-that, they need to hire guys with heart. They need to start hiring guys that are fans of this and not hire these guys when they're fucking 38, 39 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Back in the day, we can all see Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. We've seen all these guys. You could tell in their eyes that they were fucking true fans of this sport. And it took WWE that many years to get these guys hired. When they were proving it constantly on the independent circuit.
Day in and day out, all over the world, the American Dragon was proving himself, defending the ROH title, wrestling in Noah and New Japan.
And that's all true, wrestling in Noah, wrestling in New Japan, but guess where he became big?
WWE.
World Wrestling Entertainment.
To add to that, to make him
Daddy Vince
to make him Daniel Bryan.
Daddy Vince said, "I pick you. You can finally be something."
I think
and it happened.
I think somebody else said, "Hey, let's pick that guy." But
who do you think? Triple H?
I want to say John Cena for some reason. Punk was there at the time too. Punk was there at the time too, and he was building his influence. So.
I know it was weird because what time they put Punk and Daniel Bryan like a tag team match or something, And then later on in his career, I heard CM Punk doing an interview for one of the, I don't know if it was a shoot interview. I don't remember what the fuck it was. It was an interview. And he was saying that he wanted him and Daniel Bryan to be like Shawn Michaels and Brett. So he was saying, don't put us together in a lot of shit. Keep us as far apart as possible, and then eventually we'll meet heads somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say something around that people probably forget. There was a point where CM Punk was coming out saying, I'm the best in the world. And his slogan was, I'm the best in the world. And I'm sorry, but Daniel Bryan made that shit popular in Ring of Honor years before that. Then CM Punk is doing the Go to Sleep, which he obviously got inspired by Kenta after Kenta being in Ring of Honor. CM Punk took, you know what was crazy? And I'm not even talking shit because who cares? You know, people have done it in the wrestling business forever. But CM Punk took all the cool shit from all the indie guys and Japanese guys and then brought it over to WWE.
And did all of it in the same match.
Yeah, sometimes it felt that way.
I don't think anyone else will be able to notice that but you and I, having seen ROH from the red DVDs.
Yeah, you'd be from
definitely. The internet is on fire right now if they've heard what we just said about CM Punk.
Well, anyways, go back and look at the stuff. And
we'll go back to SmackDown. Back to SmackDown.
So, finally, the last Money in the Bank qualifying match
that we're going to cover
is
The Miz defeats Jeff Hardy to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank.
That's cool, man. They're both good wrestlers. The Miz obviously won. He's always going to be a big part of the WWE now. He's obviously scratched and clawed his way. As much as I don't like him, he's obviously scratched and clawed his way to the fucking top. You got to give the man his props. And Jeff Hardy, I know people are saying like, wow, that's crazy, Jeff Hardy lost. And this is nothing to Jeff Hardy. I have a very strong feeling the WWE has huge plans for fucking Jeff Hardy. They want Jeff Hardy of circa early 2000s when he started becoming a huge fucking merch seller and started selling out arenas all across the world with that also lovely key demographic of the teenagers all the way to the 25-year-olds and stuff like that. Dude, that's what WWE loved. Yeah, and you're putting guns to your head like you're going to blow your brains out.
I'm doing the Jeff Hardy and the Hardy's pose, the two fingers towards the head area. Donna, Donna, Donna.
You know who else does those symbols, like those two fingers to the head? There's this video game called Borderlands.
Borderlands doesn't...
Yeah, like the bad guys in Borderlands do it.
Can you not tell me that Borderlands might have been influenced by the Hardy style?
I don't know, but fucking Borderlands was...
Team Extreme.
Borderlands was an underrated video game, in my opinion. It was popular amongst the hardcore fans, but it didn't have as big... a huge popularity, but I love that fucking game. Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. I never got to play the space one. But anyways, talking about video games.
I was a Fallout guy.
Yeah.
Well, that is SmackDown, unless we're going to let me point out that they showed the Miz Girl in 2018, like 10 years later.
Who's the Miz Girl?
The Miz Girl. Everyone that's listening to this knows who the Miz Girl is.
There might not be people who know who the fuck the Miz Girl is. That's very vague.
I can't show a picture of the Miz Girl to listeners of a podcast. If you don't know who the Miz Girl is, look her up. Just type in Miz Girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. He doesn't know how to tell a story from beginning to end. So basically, here's who the Miz Girl is. The Miz, I can't remember exactly. The Miz did
2010.
It was 2010, and the Miz did either an angle or a match, and he was a heel, and he came out looking stoic in that angle or match, and that little girl was obviously super pissed off about it, and the camera zooms into her face, and she just looks angry, like someone fucking shit in her cereal. You know what I mean? She looked mad.
She's the most iconic WWE fan next to the gentleman that was shocked by The Undertaker losing to Brock Lesnar.
Wouldn't it be nuts? Fucking the Miz Girl is like, this is 2010, it's 2000 whatever now. She's like all grown up and she's all trained.
Mm-hmm. Trained.
She comes back as a trained fucking wrestler.
Trained, right? Let's book her to come out with her face looking shocked in 2018 when the Miz wins the WWE title or whatever you guys are planning. Let her be in the crowd shocked. She jumped the rail.
She comes back and she's like, I remember when you pissed me off when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Mm-hmm. I'm back. I'm an adult.
I'm back, and I sure as hell ain't going to New Japan. I want the big bucks.
If the WWE let the Miz girl get trained and end up on the Indies or any other company, that would be like the biggest mistake they've made in the last 8 years.
Why? She's obviously a wrestling fan. How the fuck do you know if she's gonna be good or not?
Obviously,
I guarantee you.
I didn't say that.
Dude, that's exactly what you
said. I
said.
said that if the WWE doesn't,
you said it'd be the biggest mistake ever.
If the WWE doesn't book her and sign her and lets her get trained and go to the Indies, that would be the biggest mistake the WWE has made in the last 8 years.
I thought you meant it was a mistake for her to be in the wrestling business.
Since discovering the talent that is Miz Girl.
Wow.
That if she got trained and ended up in New Japan, I would be fucking appalled.
Hey, New Japan doesn't have a girl like that.
New Japan doesn't have a women's division. We talked about that last week.
Yeah. Let's not delve into that. However, there was something that you said within the coming weeks you're going to do a little bit more research on, and that you were going to want to talk about. And what was that?
The history of FMW documentaries.
The history of FMW documentaries. What does FMW stand for, Jeff?
Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling.
And what were they known for?
They were known for deathmatch. Pioneering deathmatch.
Pioneering death matches, and you know what? Some of their death matches might have been a little weird, but their big main event ones were up to par. They knew how to do death matches right.
Yeah, Megumi Kudo and Combat Toyota. I can never get over that. If you're a deathmatch fan and you have not seen that match, you don't know what a deathmatch is. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of fact, I'll make that the match of the podcast. I want you guys to go watch Megumi Kudo
versus Combat Toyota
in FMW.
FMW.
And what kind of match was it, Jeff?
On the original VHS tape that we saw it on, that we bought back when we were teenagers, it was called an electrified barbed wire match. I have seen it on YouTube as a Combat Toyota retirement match and exploding barbed wire match. Just Megumi Kudo and Combat Toyota, and the ring wrapped in the most dangerous amount of barbed wire pulled tight that you've ever seen.
Dude,
that's the match I'm talking about.
Not only that, them doing suplexes onto the exploding barbed wire. And this is not just cheap exploding barbed wire. It was done so goddamn perfectly.
So perfectly.
It's hard to describe, ladies and gentlemen. You have to watch that match. It won't disappoint. And professionalism once more, Jeff turns on YouTube and forgets to turn down the volume.
Jeff, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk.
Okay, but
no one accused me of that, did they?
No, but you're seriously you turn on YouTube and it's got the fucking volume up, and our listeners are probably thinking, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I was gonna regale them with a tale.
Well, anyways,
on a flute.
I'm looking forward to that FMW history stuff because, as a company, dear Lord, I was shocked of the shit I saw. Their deathmatch tournaments, their matches with Terry Funk.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's on Brett FMW on YouTube. It was done by him and Bahu FMW on Instagram. Go check them out. They're awesome. I believe there's over 18 volumes. I've only managed to watch the first 2. They were posted about a month ago.
Well, hey, man, do our lovely fans a favor and let's research some of this stuff so that we can talk about it more. It's interesting as shit. It's hella interesting.
I'm watching it. I'm going to watch it all the way through, and we'll go back and talk about it later.
Alrighty. So, hey, I think that's nearing the end, or you want to go another half?
This has been good. We can do an intermission if you want, or we can see you next week.
We will see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
Have fun on the Indies.
Have fun on the Indies.
And Jeff, for God's sakes, put the fucking beer down. It's like beer after beer after beer.
It's almost empty, and I still need another one.
Dear Lord.